I will do it when we finish it, of course. We are live streaming. We are here in Florida from inside the conference room of Gurkha Cigars Company. I'm very humbled and touched because here we are again after 6 months, I think, in our first, in our fifth round table. Cynthia is here, Cynthia Fuente is here. In our first, in our round table, Cynthia is here, Cynthia Fuente. I think that's something in my voice. I'm hearing my... Right? Because I was hearing my voice and I dislike my voice. Well, welcome to our fifth global, SOTL Global Roundtable. This fifth global roundtable is very important to us. It's very important to all of the women because it's the first activity of SOTL Global Movement. The first activity, public activity, because we have already started working on projects. We have already started dedicating our time to work on the projects for empowering women all over the world, for shaping a better world for all of us. And we need only to focus on the good side of the things. So we need to collaborate with men and women and to make the things better. Well, I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart, all of you, that you are here today, but not only for today, because you are embracing this live vision, but I think this is a mission of all of us, to empowering women and to sculpture a better world. So this is very important, and I don't want to say a few things, more things. I would like to say this. I'm very touched, I'm very humbled because of your participation, because of your contribution. And the thing is to combine our interest in this way. So Lefty is the head of management team. And I think he's going to start.
Right now, I'm trying to get Romy from Hiram and Solomon. She's joining us and she couldn't find the link, so she should be joining us shortly.
Okay.
I want to thank all of you for being here today. It's my first roundtable. I know I've watched the other four, but it's the first time I'm joining the Global Roundtable, and I'm very, very excited. I want to start by thanking Anastasia for trusting me to spearhead the organization and all the logistics for organizing the SOTL Global Movement all over the world. Our mentality aligns 100%. I believe in what she believes, and it's my pleasure that I can help making her dream come true. So on the other hand, I want to also introduce my very good friend, Juan Lopez. He is the Vice President of Sales from Gurkha Cigars. Juan, I want to thank you for joining us today and joining all these aficionados that they wanted to ask you questions. Welcome to the SOTL Global Roundtable.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I see that a lot of Sisters of the Leaf are part of this amazing roundtable, and being a father of 3 women, I'm all about empowering women. So I'm happy to be here, and happy to see the movement you guys are starting to create worldwide to get more women involved in the cigar industry and enjoying the leaf, what we all enjoy for many years to come. So congratulations on getting this stuff started. I think this is amazing. And thank you for having me, and
Hello,
welcome to our office, our humble office.
Okay.
So we appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Juan. And here we are with the members of advisory board, the management team, and the members of the SOTL committees. We are very powerful because we are willing and is strong. And ladies, I refer to the ladies. You know, do you remember 2 years ago when we organized our first global roundtable?
Yes.
I look back to the time, and I watched the live and your presence in these during these years, 2 years. You know, it's a great progress. It's a great progress and personal progress, and for women. So here we are to make the next step. And
the idea is that all these women, all these aficionados decided to put their voices together and raise their voices and empower themselves even more, and actually introduce even more women to this beautiful hobby, which is called cigar smoking. It's amazing.
Our guest today is Juan Lopez. So, ladies, start the questions to Juan Lopez.
Fire on.
Start your engines.
The floor is yours. So, Cynthia are doing Puente. We cannot see.
Could you see me?
No.
We can't see you.
I know. I don't know why it's not
If
coming
you touch the
through.
screen and you click on use video, there should be a button that should tell you, should enable you to use the video feed.
Okay. Okay, I got you. All right.
There
wow.
you are.
There you go.
Hello,
There she is.
Cynthia.
There she is.
Thank you very much. Okay, that made it simple. For some reason, I was going in the email and it didn't come through. Juan, how are you? How you doing, Juan?
I'm doing good. How are you?
It's
I'm
wonderful
doing
to
great,
see
Mama. I just
you.
got back from Arizona and here. Great seeing you like always. That beautiful face of yours. Always a welcome sight.
Thank you. Gosh, it's been a
All is
long
well.
time.
How are you? How are you doing?
Good, everything very good. Thank you. Thank you. I'm looking forward to be able to getting back like into the world with 2 years has gone by that all of us have been in this situation.
It truly is unbelievable how these 2 years have gone by so fast. I'm just now starting to travel again, and I'm happy to be out there again. And it's funny because I'm looking forward to PCA, TAA, all the different organizations that we belong to be able to see all of our friends again and hugs and kisses and no mask.
I'm so grateful to like Anastasia, and so grateful for the round tables, for all the people that we've been able to meet throughout the United States, throughout the world, during, you know, the situation that we've been in. But being able to see everybody in person and get back into the market is going to be wonderful. We had a lot of good times at the TA conventions.
Yes, we
really
have.
miss everybody. I know.
Me too. Are you coming? Are you going to Cabo this next month? Are you coming?
No, I'm not going to be able to do it this year, but next year. Yeah, next year.
Okay.
Will you be there?
You'll be at PCA though.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'll be there.
absolutely.
But you'll be at PCA. Okay, perfect.
Oh yeah.
I'll see you there. We'll have a drink.
Looking forward to it. Well, very good. Thank you.
Same. How is my favorite chef doing? Your
Good.
daughter.
Excellent. Actually, she's expecting a baby, so I'm going to be a grandmother for the first time.
Oh, grandma!
Mhm.
Sexy grandma
Congratulations.
over there, huh?
Thank you.
Congratulations! Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's
Because
awesome.
Christina's been married
Congrats.
for
That's
4
great.
years now. And so, yes, and all her friends already married with babies going on their second one. So this is for her first. So we're excited. Thank you.
This is great.
That's awesome.
I
Congratulations.
think it's time to light a cigar.
The
There you
fact that
go.
we're all sitting here discussing with all these beautiful people from the cigar industry about empowering women and about introducing more women to cigar smoking, it's amazing, and I'm loving this.
Yeah, because this
Fantastic.
global roundtable is dedicated to the women, of course, and their contribution to the cigar world. So we can make questions to our guest or to have a free discussion about this. Cynthia, would you like to ask something to our guest about women, about female touch?
I'm sure you would have a great question about the presence of women in the cigar industry.
I think it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, I've been born literally in this industry, and I've been in this industry my whole entire life. And so women have always been a very important part as a young child, like my grandmothers, my aunts, my mothers, working alongside my father, my grandfather. So I was always surrounded by so many women growing up. And then like through the decades, the trend changed in many ways. And I know that Juan can relate to this in many, many different facets, but today, within these, let's say, last decade, to see the women that are such as yourselves that are coming out and just expressing themselves with the leaf, learning so much about the leaf. And I'm so grateful, like social media, because in the past, it was a lot of women that smoked cigars and enjoyed it, but we never got to like show the expressions. So through social media, I believe that has been a great way for everybody to come together and like to smoke your cigars and so forth. So I love to been able to witness every decade the way things have like changed. But nevertheless, ever since the beginning of time, women have always been a very, very important part of this industry. I have to tell you, on behalf of my brother Carlos, you can smile about this. Galito's just absolutely loving how women, you know, are coming and just enjoying cigars. So he puts them on his story, all these beautiful women smoking their cigars. And I'm like, Galito, he goes, look, Cynthia, I'm not going to put like our salesman smoking a cigar. Let's see how many likes I get. He goes, if a woman has a cigar, then I'm going to put her on my stories on Instagram. Because both he and I continue to be learning about it.
This
So
was
smart, man. No.
I was actually on the phone with Sarah Saunders the other day, and she was asking a question for Juan Lopez right for this. So Sarah Saunders, how about you start with the question?
Wait a minute. Hello. Hi. Juan, very
Hello.
nice
Hi,
to
Sarah. How are
meet
you?
I've
A
never met
pleasure.
you
Pleasure
before,
to meet
but
you as well.
very nice to talk to you. Yes, I'm going to crib from my phone because I have a very bad memory, but I'm going to just ask you straight from what I wrote. I imagine that women have been involved in your cigar journey from the earliest times. And what is your impression of women's roles in the industry and their interest in cigar smoking over the last few decades?
It's a fun. I would say I've been doing this. I've been in the business for going on 25 years, and I've seen the ups and downs, like Cynthia was saying earlier, of women. Women have always been part of the industry, but always been behind the scenes. Happy to see stuff like this happening now that women are in the forefront. And I was talking to actually her niece the other day, funny enough, to Liana, and I was telling her that what an amazing young lady she is, and how her aunt is an amazing woman, and what great ambassadors you ladies are of the lead. Karen Gerber, same thing, and like that. There's many more to come. The other thing that people don't understand is that when you go to factories, 70% of the people rolling cigars are women. So the women's touch, it's always in the cigar. It's always in the cigar. And the one thing about women, they have the gentle touch to be able to handle this, this very fragile leaf. Part of it for a long time. Happy to see more women smoking. Cynthia will remember back in the day when Cigar Aficionado came out, it became like a trend for women to come out and smoke. Then it went away a little bit, and now like avenues like online and stuff, it's bringing it back, and it's making it what it's supposed to be, an enjoyable time for everybody to share the love of the leaf. The love of, for me is I've never gone to a cigar bar and see anybody get into a fight, but I've been in many bar fights in bars when people smoke cigarettes. That's how we smoke this, right? So Women are a huge part of the industry. Myself, I have 3 women reps out of my 10 representatives. I got 3 of them are women right now. Just hired a brand new one in about 6 months ago in Atlanta, and Tanya, she does a hell of a job for us. And I think a lot of the companies are starting to see that women are. See, the thing about women that you could always appreciate, coming obviously from my mother, that's my idol, my hero. She raised me all on her own, and women are very organized. And I think women make the best representatives because they represent themselves well and they represent the brand well. And that's why I'm always looking to hire women that love cigars and bring a lot. They bring and the more, and again, it's this industry. I truly believe within the next, it's happening already, but within the next 5-6 years, there's going to be a lot more women involved in the management side of the business. I truly see it coming. And I see it from some of the bigger companies that they're starting to hire women as well. And I think that it's a hell of a movement. And I think you guys have it spot on here doing this, global roundtables. It's a no-brainer. It's a great way to people get involved in the industry.
Cool. You mentioned your mother. How did your mother influence you in the world of cigars? I'm interested.
Well, I came from Cuba when I was 10 years old, and my mom was a nurse in Cuba. So she really didn't influence me in the cigars. I studied marketing in college, and I got into the cigar business by pure luck. I was working for a marketing firm with a dear friend of Cynthia, Lisa Figueroa. And I worked with her in Tampa. I would fly from Miami to Tampa. We worked together for a while. And then one day they literally paired me up with Kevin Doyle of Caribbean Cigars back in the day. And he offered me a job on the spot. He saw I was smoking cigars and he offered me a job and I got in. So my mom never really influenced me as far as the cigar side of the industry. But she does appreciate I would say this, I have 3 girls. I have a 25-year-old, 22-year-old, and a 16-year-old. The 2 eldest ones smoke cigars. So they love the league. So they're sisters as well. And so my mom's not big into the stuff, but she does appreciate that I'm in the industry now for 25 years, an industry that I love. I couldn't see myself doing anything else, to be frank with you.
So it's an interesting role being a mom with cigar smoking kids. I mean, it's an interesting topic how we manage that one. And
listen, I'll put it to you this way. So my youngest daughter comes over to the house. I'm by the office now, so she's in Miami. I'm up here in Parkland, Coral Springs area, and she comes over every other week and hangs out with. She brings all her friends, and for the last maybe 2 months, she's brought 3 of her guy friends with. They stay at the house and hang out. And one of the dads gives me a call the other day. He goes, "Hey, Mr. Lopez, I wanted to thank you for showing my son how to smoke a cigar because now he's teaching me how to smoke a cigar." I go, "Hey, I should have asked you." Smoking right now. I go, "Oh man, I now I get to enjoy a cigar with my son." He goes, "I get to enjoy the cigar with my son, which is awesome." So,
cool.
I'll tell you one. Your son will be jealous tonight when you're smoking that other cigar that we just gave you.
Yes.
yes.
When you are going to smoke Sperlinga cigars.
I got it right here.
Because
I will be.
Yes,
I will be smoking it tonight.
Yes, this is the progress that I said before for the Nice Leon. Not only our personal progress and our personal work with ourselves, but our business steps. So the Nice. You have a company with your husband, you have a dream, and you have Juan Lopez to ask you whatever you wish.
I'm going to be smoking it tonight for sure. Beautiful rapper, I must say.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity of being here with all of you and with Mr. Juan Lopez, and also to Lefty and Anastasia particularly for making this possible. Obviously, it's a great honor, a great pleasure. And also, like I always say, when somebody smokes our cigars, I get very nervous, you know, all the time. All the time. It's not possible because you always, you want to know if what you are doing is right. And for us, it's very important to have, you know, the feedback. And you smoking one of our cigars, it's a great honor. Thank you very much for that.
I appreciate to smoking it. I feel some Fuentes in my life. I smoked a Karen. I like smoking everybody's cigar because, you know, it's something that I say to everybody. The last 10 years in our industry, I would say it's been probably one of the best times in our industry as far as cigar making. There's a lot of really, there's an opportunity for anybody that really, you know, take off and do their own stuff because, you know, there's room for everybody. There really is, especially a woman-owned operation. I think that's fantastic. And listen, you know, it's you gotta, like I tell my reps, you know, you gotta get up, show up, and follow up, and then you'll be okay. But you gotta make a great cigar because if that cigar doesn't sell it on its own, you won't last long. So you gotta get out there, educate the customer on your product, and you know, keep hitting the ground. And the more people you see, the more people that try your cigars. And again, it's you gotta take it with a grain of salt. You're gonna have people that like it, people that don't like it. Everybody has a different palate. But in saying so, the more you venture into the cigar making process, and Cynthia will tell you and Karen will tell you that it's a journey. It truly is a journey. And we make cigars for the people. We don't make cigars for our palate. We make cigars that when we smoke it, we enjoy it, and we hope that the rest of us will enjoy it as well. But that's why our portfolios become such large portfolios, because there's so many different palettes out there. That again, it's always an ongoing thing, which is the thing about cigars that I love the most is we're always creating, like chefs, we're always creating new blends, new flavor profiles. And this being your first one, I commend you, and I think it's fantastic. I love the wrapper. I told Lefty when he gave it to me right now, I go, this wrapper is beautiful. If the cigar is as good as if the rest of the cigar is as good as the wrapper, you're gonna do all right. You're gonna be okay. Wrapper's gorgeous.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all your comments. It's very important for us to hear somebody like you just sharing your experiences and your advices to us. I really appreciate that. I think that we learn every day, and for us, this is just it's a dream come true. We have put all our lives in and everything into this, and we want to do it the best possible because it's what people deserve, and it's what we deserve too, because we don't only make cigars because it's a business, it's because we love cigars, and that's how this started. So they have to be good.
I loved your approach, Danais, your marketing approach about the Cigar Superliga journey. And I think this is the approach of every aficionado and aficionada when during the journey in the cigar world, because this is a divine journey. So that's why we decided all together to join our voices, to join our forces, to make this journey more
easily approachable.
Easily approachable, yes, by a lot of women. Thank you, Lefty. He's very fun. Well,
thank you.
Yeah. We have also with us the member of advisory board, Franca Compareto. Franca Compareto, please share with us your questions, your point of view, your experiences.
Oh, thank you. First of all, fellow SOTLs and bottles, I call you all like that now. It's really a pleasure for me to be here as well, and it's an honor. Yeah, so I actually didn't think about a question, but what comes up, Juan, is my memory of some of the meetings we had actually recently within, the organization of this movement. Very, very good meetings, very, I believe, productive meetings as well. And I'm thinking about a few particular topics, and I'm trying to get straight into that now. If we want to change topic, I'm very happy to do that too. So when it is about anti-tobacco activism, policies should follow science and not the other way around. And when it is about pleasure, well-being, and knowledge transfer, cigar companies could also use science. And I believe not only to protect their heritage, but also to have better business results. What do you think, Juan, is the role of science and above all of women in science in the cigar industry today? Are you familiar with any initiatives around this?
I think you're on point about the following the science, because at the end of the day, there's cigarettes have 3,000 chemicals in it. Cigars are pretty organic compared to cigarettes per se. Because that's not good for you. But let's go back in time. Winston Churchill, George Burns, Mr. Carlos Fuente, Mr. Oliva, Mr. Carlos Toraño. I mean, there's so many guys. Mr. Padron. There's been and they're all now in cigar heaven. But with all these gentlemen they lived a life well lived. They lived in the luxury of the industry, which is fun, drinking, hanging out, the people, and these guys all lived to be in their mid 80s, so on. Listen. So the science is really there. If you're a cigar smoker, it's not bad for you. It really isn't bad for you. It's not great for you if you don't smoke at all. Obviously, it's a healthier choice. But compared to all the other, like the vaping and other stuff that's really popular nowadays with the young kids, I would say this: probably traveling again, I've noticed in the cigar shops a lot of young men and women coming into the shops, which either I'm getting older or they're getting young. I don't know what it is, but I'm seeing a lot of 21 to 30-year-olds, ladies and men, getting into the lifestyle, because that's what cigars is. It's a lifestyle. You go into a cigar bar, a store, and people are talking life, and you don't see that when people are smoking cigarettes. They're smoking cigarettes as a different animal altogether. So we can use the science in that sense. That if you do, how many people pass away because of cigarette smoking on a daily basis? Hundreds of thousands, if not more. I don't know, but I know compared to cigars, not even close. This is truly a pleasure. This is a lifestyle. So that's why I think the science, and we're fighting, with the CRA and all the different organizations. We're fighting here in the States and abroad. The governments to understand that don't pair us together with cigarettes and vape, because we're a completely different society altogether, right? So we've been trying hard for many of years to let those politics and all that crap go away from the industry, because it truly isn't. It's not about that. Don't get our, because it's about pleasure, enjoyment, family, and more things. It's the love of the leaf.
That was great feedback.
That's all I gotta say about that.
We have already begun working on projects for activists, for anti-smokers, cigar anti-smokers, and based on science. So I believe that at the end of 22, we will bring results in this, not huge results, of course, but we will have made.
We will be able to add our own input on
Yes.
certain research about
Yes.
activism against cigars and smoking in general.
2 Sundays ago, we were in a marathon of Zoom meetings with all the committees. Do you remember, ladies and gentlemen, of course? Yes, it was a marathon. So, Franca, are you happy for the answer?
And you know,
Because
it was a very open question, very, you know, it's always good to hear the feedback from people like Juan, of course. You know, one side idea that came to mind while you know, I was into this thought is I don't know if people agree with me, but when I think about anti-tobacco activism, I often think about mothers wanting to protect their children. It's like almost an instinctual gesture, you know, and I guess it's gonna be tough to bring changes to that behavior because it is very instinctive. Juan, would you have any suggestion?
I mean, it goes back to what I said earlier on the young men that, you know, my daughters that smoke cigars with me, you know, and I enjoy, you know, being by the fire with my girls and having a scotch with them. My girls drink scotch. They know better than not to drink beer. We drink scotch, and you're Cuban, you drink rum and scotch, right? So we have cocktails together. We smoke cigars together, and again, it's the problem is that when you see all these ads on a regular basis on the news, on the TV, and you see it, I mean, newspaper, print, and it's always bad. It's, again, I think they're the tobacco section they're putting in, they're talking about, is more in the cigarette sector, not in the premium cigar sector, which is what we do. So I think I just would like to see it go away, as far as, let us be on our side. Let us enjoy what we do. Let us enjoy the gift of the leaf, and don't pair us with vape. Don't pair us with marijuana. Don't pair us with cigarettes. That's not what we do. That's not what we are. I always tell people, I mean, you'll find the average cigar smoker smokes 2 to 3 cigars a week. Okay, the average cigarette smoker smokes a pack a day. So when you do the math on that right there, right? So it's not a habit forming. It's an enjoyment. It's an enjoyable process. What we do in the premium side of the business. It's not a habit forming kind of a product like cigarettes and weed.
yes.
So Juan, can you hear me?
I do, sir.
So you said you smoke cigars with your daughter, correct?
With both of my oldest daughters, yes. Not my
So
little one.
I have a quick question, because we have another great aficionada joining us today, and she owns her own cigar company, and she makes amazing cigars. But I think her daughter is far away from trying a cigar, and I'm talking about Karen Berger. And I'd like to find out her input and what her thoughts are on introducing her daughter to cigars when the time is appropriate.
Hi.
Hi, Karen.
Karen.
Good morning. Good morning. Yes. First, thank you, Anastasia. I feel really proud to be part today. Thank you for the amazing platform that allow us to the lady to express our opinion in this cigar industry. I feel really blessed to have and share this time with Mr. Cynthia, Denise, all the ladies, Franca, who are here today. And thank you so much, Juan, for being part of this one. Yes, I have 2 daughters. My daughter has 18 years old. She really knows how to run my business. I am really proud of her. So on vacation, we usually go to Nicaragua to the factory. So she knows since they had to put the label to the cigar, make the bombos, packing area. And sometimes she usually comes to here to my store in Daytona. She knows how to run the POS systems, to do inventory. She know everything, a lot of all the brands, where is coming Gurkha Cigar, Altadi. Sometimes I am impressed about her, because you don't expect that your daughter not only know about your brand, also know about the other brands in the industry. And she is a lot. She say to me, Mommy, your English is really bad. I am really proud of all the things that you are doing for me, to keep the legacy of my father life. But I know in the future, I will help you more. And I am sure that I would do better than you. So I am really, really. So I had a question for you, Juan.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. My question is, I don't know if it's in the correct way to say, I hope you understand. So do you believe that there is the same treatment and respect for women within the industry as a seller, representative, manufacturers, just like men?
That's a great question. It's funny, that's a great question. And that question was actually brought up as we're outside the office coming in today. And a sage asked me, do you have women representatives? I go, I have 3. And there's very few women representatives out there. So what I do for my team, for my ladies, number one, they all smoke cigars. That's key. They love the leaf. They're amazing, right? Women have a tougher job than men do because it is a men's world that's now being flipped because women are so much more involved and more in the forefront of cigars than ever before. So, like for example, where I think where the problem lies, when you have a woman representative, I make sure that when they do events, I'm there with them because unfortunately, you know, this Karen and beautiful, and you know, guys, you know, you're being friendly to them, and I've had 2 of my reps be followed to the hotel, and this happened to them before. So that's a tough part. So that's why I chose with them when it's for events. When they're in the territories doing their thing, they know what to do. They stay in better hotels. They'll stay in crappy areas. Stay in good hotels. Our per diem for my it's a lot higher than for the men. I told my guys, you can stay wherever the hell you want. You could defend yourself. Women's a little bit different. So that's a little bit the challenge that you have when you hire women. Unfortunately, that in this industry, you have a lot of those guys. I call the guys that hang out in the basements, and then they go to the event and they see a Karen Gerber or Cynthia. They're friendly, beautiful, and you know they think something different. And I've seen it happen that my reps have been followed, and it's just sad that it gets to that. But I think that's the biggest issue, that if anything, that why some of the bigger companies stay away from women representatives, because it does happen. Fortunately, in this business, it does happen. But what makes no sense to me is that you have a lot of liquor reps. That doesn't happen to them. But our industry is so one-on-one that people say, you know, you're being nice and you're, you know, doing what we do. They take it the wrong way, and because we're so close and we're so different, we're a one-on-one kind of industry, hugs, kisses, you know how it goes. And I think that's the biggest hurdle for ladies in the industry. And again, I hire women because I'm a father of 3 women, of 3 girls. So I was raised by my mother. I have a sister, never had a brother, never had a father. And so I'm all about empowering women. And listen, I always say women are a lot smarter than we are. And definitely a lot more organized. Mine too, they do better than men, 100%. I'm a true believer in that. So I teach my daughters that the sexiest thing in a woman is being confident, always have good posture, and always be able to say no, and be able to have a conversation with anybody about anything. Always be And again, I'm a big fan of the ladies. Obviously, I got 3. So.
Well, Karen, we think that you lit a fire with your question. Yes. But I see another fire. Romy's fireplace. Romy.
Uh-oh. Romy's in the house.
Romy, unmute Romy, unmute. Romy, is it possible to tell us, to share with us,
yes,
experience and your feelings about the festival in LA Las Vegas, yes.
Yes, in Vegas. But first thing, my question would be to Juan, when will I be able to afford you in my company? Every time I see him, I'm going to grow big enough to afford someone like Juan. He's the best person I've ever met in the industry. I've met a lot of nice people, but on the personal level, we're talking, this gentleman is a gentleman. Kudos.
I appreciate that coming from you, and you know, I'm
Thank
a fan of you and your husband, and what you guys are doing, you know, and like I tell your husband all the time, I tell you any which way I could help. It's a very small industry, and I think you guys are in the forefront of hiring women. Yeah, no, of hiring women. I mean, you got you know Jennifer going all over the place.
Absolutely.
And should we want to be asked that question about the difference of a woman in the cigar business?
I was going to mention her in particular from the question that came from Karen in the cigar reps as ladies. So far, with my experience, you know, most of these events happen after the event you have, after the Vegas event, after the show, after the trade show, you end up going to the multiple events, some of them to the bars. They're famous for the Circle Bar here or the Venetian. Everybody's there hanging out. Of course, Carlito Fuente is always there and the superstar. The thing is, I've seen very little number of lady reps going smashed, and versus most of the male reps, they are smashed from the beginning of the party, where they don't understand that this is for the people to attend. It's a party for them. For us, it's a part of the business. That's where we start getting into the relationship between the retailer, but we don't want to be smashed. And whenever I approached our male reps saying, hey guys, you need to bring down a little bit the drinking thing, you need to be a little softer, they get offended. Jennifer was so far not once in my life had an issue telling her, Jennifer, bring down this. From one point, of course, they approach her. She's a beautiful lady. They want to talk about lady stuff and not the cigar. She can twist in a second and turn the whole conversation into pure industry. She grew up in the industry. She's not there as a wannabe.
Grew up, I was going to say.
We have a lot of wannabes also. I fight a lot that image. I spoke with Anastasia a week ago that we're seeing less and less of the parasites. You know, every business has parasites, everything. So that was one of the things. The other thing about the law that we are fighting a lot, my husband and I were fighting a lot this thing as in committees. We have to understand that every time we're talking about smoking, it's like saying something about drinking. So if Coca-Cola and the Pomerol wine are similar, in that case, I rest my case. If drinking is the same as drinking water, then wine is the same. You can poison yourself with Coca-Cola, which is the case of people drinking 2 liters of Coca-Cola every time they get a meal. Same thing for the cigarettes. They can smoke as much as they want. When I grew up, we are Armenians. We grew up with a glass of wine as kids, not of course 3-year-old, but like when we were 10, 12-year-old, we shared it. I don't see any of us getting addicted. And it has to do also with the, not normalization, with how you bring up your children onto it. Both my children, I have a 31-year-old, 28-year-old, they just started the cigar passion. One of them was a cigarette smoker, and he just told me how much I wasted my time doing that crap. Literally, it was for him just realizing how noble is the cigar, and they can't compare it to each other. And Juan said it, average smoker of a cigar is 3 to 4 cigars a week. Average smoker of cigarette is more than 1 pack a day, much more than 1 pack a day. And in Greece, that's a big problem. In some countries, in the Latin countries, it's even a greater problem. So apart from that, I would like to give the speech to beautiful ladies here, and so nice to see you all again.
I want to mention a story. A story.
Wait, hold on. And can you guys, Lefty, can you guys believe that this young lady and Cynthia and Karen, they have 30-year-old girls and kids? I mean, really?
No,
come on.
No, definitely not.
Really?
Just turned 51, Juan. 51.
I don't see how this is possible, but it's okay.
It happens. Just turned 51 years young.
There you go. So
there you go. I love that. Same here.
So back in the summer, I was driving with Juan and Goni Herrera. We're going for dinner in Chicago. And we were talking about Sisters of the Leaf and the progress that they have made in the cigar industry. And he mentioned the Sister of the Leaf from Italy, and that was Silvia Zanovello.
Mm-hmm.
And right away, I said, you know, I spoke with Silvia Zanovello, and she always talks about you. And I remember we recorded the video, and we sent it to Silvia Zanovello. And I think it's time she takes over the floor.
Buonasera.
The floor is yours.
Hi to all. Hi, honey. Wow, how are you?
Hi, Sylvia. How are you, sweetheart? Looking as beautiful as always.
Thank you very much. It was about more than 1 year ago that I had the honor to interview Juan Lopez for one of my virtual Zoom meeting. And in that occasion, he told me to call him Wani. So for me, Juan Lopez is Wani. Okay. Do you remember?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I do remember, because it's funny, because if you know me, that's what you call me. You know, everybody calls me Wani, because there's a lot of Juan, but there's only one Wani, right?
Yeah.
But yes, I do remember that.
But Wani, first of all, I have to thank Anastasia, because after 2 years, we are already there. 2 years passed and a lot of way together. We have done a lot of way together. I'm very happy to be here again after 2 years with all these women. I love you all, and a lot of way we have to do a lot of way in our future. New project, break the stereotypes all together. Thank you all, and thank you, Wani, to be here this morning or this afternoon or this evening, because we are from all the world. I am in Italy, and now it's quite 5 p.m. So for there is afternoon, evening, okay? I don't know, but I want to ask you something about, and it is a strange question for you. So, the Gurkhas were fearsome Nepalese warriors who fought without reserve. Don't you think that SOTL movement, breaking the stereotypes of male, can be a sort of Gurkhas in our turn?
Great question.
Warriors and fighters. We are fighters, okay.
We are warriors.
That's
We
a
are
loaded
warriors
question.
like Gurkha Nepalese warriors. Do you think that it is true? Okay, we are like warriors in the world, in our male world, especially tobacco world, that is a male world. We are probably warriors like Nepalese warriors. Do you think that?
I again, you know, being raised by my mother and my grandma, and having 3 daughters, I continue to say this because I love women, obviously, and respect women, and I think women could do whatever they put their minds to, and seeing this movement that Anastasia and all you ladies are doing, I think it's fantastic. I think I told Lefty, you know, whatever you guys need from me as far as support from within our company and obviously within our industry. Puente, Rami, and you know the rest of the gang. You know, this is a hell of a movement. This is just starting out. I truly feel this has a lot of legs, but like anything else in life, you need to continue pushing it and growing naturally, because there is a lot of women smokers that don't come out of the closet that they want to smoke, unfortunately, right? I think that with this movement that you guys are doing, you ladies are doing, I think a lot of more women are going to come out and say, hey, listen, I could smoke a full body cigar. I don't smoke flavor. I never. If you give Cynthia Puente or Karen Gerber or Rami, you give her a flavor cigar, she'll probably throw it in your face, because they're true sisters of the leaf. They like you ladies, right? And that's why, you know, guys have that mentality. Oh, women, they're gonna smoke a job of this. No, man, listen, I met a lot of women that smoke fuller body cigars than me, and I'm sure Karen, and I'm sure, you know, all the ladies that are here, you know, Cynthia, especially Cynthia, with their portfolio of anywhere from mild to medium to full, you smoke them all. So I just want the women to come out,
enjoy
you know, show. I know, same here. I find myself smoking mild and medium full. I'm beginning to do that. I think my age is starting to show, but But yeah, I just want women to come out more and be more visible in the industry and and it's beautiful. I mean, this is amazing. When Lefty and I say he asked me to be here, I said, man, you better believe it. I'm going to be there because I'm a huge supporter, and I think our company is one of the few companies that have a lot of. I mean, 30% of my sales staff is women. So I see the value. I see the knowledge, and going back with like Jennifer Nicole. I mean, she grew up in the industry. Her father owns a store. I know her. She's like 18 years old. And she's a professional, and Rami was right. She spins it and talks about cigars, because unfortunately in our industry the guys do get pretty hammered, and then they don't know any better, and those are the guys that don't last long. I'll put it to you that way.
True, that's true.
Well, okay, I understand. So I have another question. You have already answered me, but I want to make the question at the same time, because I want to speak with you about this theme, okay? Our movement is equidistant from cigar companies, but it is clear that many companies use the female image to advertise their products. Often, women are seen only as an image and not as a true connoisseur or expert of this world. What do you think can be done to overcome these stereotypes?
I'll put it to you this way, and I'm going to use these two ladies as an example. I'm going to use Karen and I'm going to use Cynthia. Cynthia's got the Cynthia pose that everybody knows. Karen has got the pose of class. It's not about, they're beautiful women, but they're classy. They're representing themselves as what they are, classy women. If other companies, listen, at the end of the day, it's a driven industry, right? So when you have 80% of the business, not 90% of the business, men, and those are the guys who are smoking. That's why you need this movement to get more momentum. Their sex sells, unfortunately, but that's just the way it goes. Sex does sell, but in the cigar industry, if you keep it classy like these ladies have, it's a different animal altogether. That's when men start to respect them, not just the one showing off, that how pretty they are and putting cigars between their breasts and stuff like that, which I personally think is degrading. Again, being a father of 3 women, and if the companies that do that, if you look at our stuff, we always show the cigar. I mean, if you look at Fuente, Karen is the beautiful woman. She's the one running the company, and she's there in the farms, walking around and in the fields and doing C2 smoke things. Same thing with Cynthia. It's a different type of woman altogether as far as the leaf. But again, unfortunately, in this industry, some of the guys do use the sex to sell. The pretty girl, showing her boobs, or the pretty girl, which again makes no sense. When we advertise, and you see it in other companies, excuse me, we focus on the cigar. If the cigar looks beautiful and the cigar smokes great, you're gonna smoke it. You don't need to put a half-naked woman to be able to sell something. You don't. It's the merit of the cigar that matters. If the cigar is good, you don't need to put a woman in an ad. You can put a woman, classy woman, like the ladies I just talked about, smoking their cigars, doing their thing. That's what it should be about. It should be about the cigar, not women, really, degrading women. That's sort of the way I look at it. And again, we don't do that. We don't do that in our advertising. It's all about the cigars. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about that.
Okay, thank you a lot. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Italy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
I think that you brought the fire too. Let's go to Ohio. Patricia, you made your own business steps in these 2 years, and I'm really very proud of you and very happy with your project progress. The floor is yours now.
Well, first, hello, Anastasia. Hello, Lefty. And hello to all my beautiful ladies and amazing gentlemen. that I am so honored to be here today. And thank you, Anastasia, for including me from the beginning on this global roundtable, because without you and without being here, I wouldn't be here right now and meeting all those wonderful people. Juan, I am so honored and so happy to meet you. And I do have a question for you from a business perspective. As a new female cigar business owner, I've been in the industry for a long time, but this business is it's my new baby. So for the last couple of years, the cigar sales have grown and bloomed. Do you think it's because COVID contributed in it, or because it is growing? And if it is growing, where do you see the female cigar business owners' growth in this industry in the future?
I think it's a little bit of everything. So you got the COVID thing definitely has helped it in the sense of, normally you have guys smoking cigars when they get out of work or before they go into work or at lunch, right? And ladies are working from home. So now there's 5-6 cigars. So in my travels here in the last year, I've been traveling again. I've seen a lot of young people smoking cigars, a lot of new faces, which is a good thing. And that's what we need in our industry, a lot of new faces. And as far as the ladies, I mean, again, I see it more. I mean, when I travel like to Atlanta, go more, all the cigar bars smoking, and these women are smoking cigars. They're not smoking flavored stuff. They're not smoking cigarettes, hookah. They're smoking premium. And again, I think a woman-owned a company, if you're going to go into the retail or you're going to go into our side on the manufacturing side, again, it's just keeping it classy, staying course, and do more. You know what I'm starting to see a lot of now is a ladies' night and a lot of cigar bars, which is cool. I love that. I hosted one in Baltimore a few weeks back, and we had about 70 women show up, which I was like at odd. And then of course I started singing to them and trying to hit on every single one of them because that's me. and they were great. They took it with a grain of salt. But again, it was great to see so many women show up for this ladies' night out, and it was so awesome. And I also noticed too that a lot of the newer shops, what they're doing, which is smart, a lot of the women don't like coming to cigar bars because of the men hitting on them and whatnot, and the smoke in the hair. And I get it, right? What a lot of companies and cigar shops are investing is better air filtration in their stores.
I agree with you,
so
100%.
Women feels comfortable. Yeah, so the women feel comfortable. I mean, and that's a no-brainer, because now when it's hey, I'm gonna go out with the boys, now you can tell them, hey, listen, young man, I'm gonna go with my girl. and tell you, it does work. And again, I'm just happy to see that there's a lot more women coming out and enjoying the leaf, and it's a hell of a movement, and there's room for everybody in the business. Big big pie, and there's plenty for a lot of people to do what they need to do, as long as they keep the head straight, stay focused, and be the best at what you do.
You were absolutely right about the ventilation system and the cigar lounges and cigar shops. A lot of them, they don't think about putting their money in it. And that's what I did, is I made sure I spend my money mostly on the ventilation system for 2 reasons. Is you don't want to go in and smoke everybody else's smoke and breathe in all the smokes, and you don't want the ladies to feel uncomfortable, because my lounge is like a home feels. Like the ladies can come in and enjoy their smoke without feeling suffocated, without feeling like, oh my gosh, their hair is all smoky, their clothes. And so it is important to focus on the important things for the cigar lounges. So I appreciate your answer, and thank you very much. And
Absolutely.
thank you, Anastasia. Thank you, Lefty. Thank you, everyone.
And Patricia,
Yes.
I will be up in Ohio sometime in May, so I'm definitely coming to visit.
Oh my
Love the
gosh,
cigar.
that would be an honor. Yes, I would love
Absolutely.
to.
Yes,
That would be
yes,
great.
yes. I want to come to Ohio too. No, okay, okay.
Oh my gosh,
And I do
can't
too.
wait.
I do too. Patricia, I love seeing you on social media. You're so beautiful. And I
Thank
can't
you.
wait till I get to meet you in person as well.
Oh, Cynthia, you have no idea. I can't wait to meet you in person and give you the biggest hug ever. You and Anastasia and all the ladies that
I
are
feel
with us now
exactly
and
the
everyone else.
same. I do too.
I love you all, guys, from the bottom of my heart. The cigar industry, it just brought everybody together, female and male, and there is no better place I would love to be in than the cigar industry. I never knew that I would be a cigar business owner ever. It wasn't even in my agenda. And look at me. It's the best job on earth for me. It's the best job. It's not a job. It's actually within me. It's me. It represents how I feel. It represents my happiness, my everything. So I am blessed to be in the cigar industry with all of you. I love you all. I have to go, unfortunately. So thank you so much for having me on here. But I start to get busy a little bit, so I gotta get going.
Okay. But
Well, we
That makes
appreciate
money.
and I appreciate all your beautiful posts. And thank you for the Montesino Mondays too. I really, it's so nice.
I love it.
Montesino
So
Monday,
everything I do is from the heart, not just for posts, not just for.
I know, I
It's
know
from the
that.
heart.
And it's so beautiful because like during like the social media, like I look so forward to seeing everybody in the expressions and all. And it is all about class and elegance. And what we do here in Anastasia, the way she's brought everybody together, everybody is very serious. And like Juan has said, it's not about like a sex symbol. It's because we love the leaf and we respect ourselves. And there's always going to be those women that are expressing themselves in other ways. And that's okay. But we respect one another. We respect our industry. Like for an example, Karen, congratulations on the Cigar Journal. You look absolutely
Yes, congratulations,
stunning.
Karen.
We are just so happy
Yes,
for you.
congratulations,
I
Karen,
believe that
also.
we're so happy for one another and our accomplishments. Everybody supports one another and is so, celebrates one another.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right, Cynthia. Every single woman that's on the global global movement and everywhere in the industry, a lot of them, they represent themselves with respect for themselves and for the cigar industry. And that's what I love. And that's how it should be.
That's right.
The same thing happens all over the world. It goes from Ohio to Italy to Argentina, right?
Because
Just
I
for
love
an
you guys.
example,
I gotta go.
Okay,
Love you.
darling.
Bye.
Bye, Pat. Take care,
For an
Patricia.
example,
Thank
we
you
have
so much.
Bye. Kendall from the Cigar Fanatics. So
Yes.
there's a cigar lounge. Kendall, how you doing, darling? And it's been so beautiful because the gentleman Carl out of Ohio had started the Cigar Zoom bar, and we've been able to meet people, which we would have never been able to meet these people. So there's one gentleman, his name is Joy Bianco, and he's in the Dominican right now with my brother, with Jose Blanco, with everybody. It's like an opportunity of a lifetime. And if it wasn't because of social media and the COVID and so forth, we would have never been able to meet everybody. So now Joey, my brother, invited him, and he's part of the Cigar Fanatics. So he went to Chateau de la Fuente, and these are things that would have never happened. So because of COVID, unfortunately, we want everybody to be healthy. That's the most important thing. But nevertheless, we've been able to meet so many people, and we have these connections and these bonds that are just unmeasurable. So I think it's a beautiful thing. I was happy to see Kendall on there.
It's so good to see you, Cynthia.
Thank you, darling.
And we would love to hear, the title of this global roundtable is "We Break the Stereotypes, We Love Cigar World." And now it was from SOTL Greece, and now the title for SOTL Global Movement is "We Love Cigar World, We Break the Stereotypes." And I'm very curious, and I think all of us, we are curious about the stereotypes in Argentina, because there is a different culture and everything is free. Jessica,
Yes.
with great,
Can you hear me?
great ideas, Jessica.
Hi, how are you? Hi, everybody. Well, I speak Spanish, so my English is not so perfect. I'm sorry. I don't know. We are Latin American, so I feel very free to smoke a cigar, to drive, to travel alone. I don't know. For me, I grew up in the cigar industry. So for me, it's not a problem to smoke. I run Bellagio Vanos Lounge. We represent Gurkha Cigars in Argentina, also Arturo Fuentes Cigar here. I don't know, maybe it's a very silly question to Juan Lopez. Do you know which is the best cigar for women? No, which is the best cigar? Which women prefer in Gurkha Cigar? I prefer Cellar Reserve 15 years Solara. Do you have a measure of that?
Not really a measure. I mean, I think people like what they like. I mean, I always tell people, what's the best cigar is the one you like, right? I mean, and what could be the best cigar could be the next one you have. You know, that's why I personally, I smoke everybody's cigar for that reason, and not just our stuff. But yeah, women are. Listen, it's like formats like this is nipping it in the bud. It's no longer associated with flavor cigars, acid, all that stuff. Now it's more about, real tobacco, different size. I mean, I see women smoking 6x60. To me, that's amazing. And again, it's one of those deals that as we continue to with this movement, I think it's only going to get better and better and better. I think the best cigar, again, it's up to you. I mean, I know, like, Cynthia smokes, God knows how many cigars a day, but she'll start with the short story, and then she'll end up with an opus, and so on, and Montesino in the morning, morning Montesino, and stuff like that. So it all depends on your mood, depends on your palate, and again, the amount of time you have. So it's a lot of variables come into play when you're talking about sizing and what cigars preferred by who, women, men. Again, it's a big broad question. But again, I see women now enjoying medium to full body cigars when before it was strictly flavored cigars.
And the size, I prefer Robusto size. In Arturo Fuente, I prefer Rosado 52.
Yeah. That's a good
in Gurkha, the 15 Solara. So, do you know that?
So you're in the Robusto range. You like the Robusto range?
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that.
Again, listen. It also comes down to like the time that you have. If you have a lot more time, you're gonna start longer. 45 minutes, you're gonna smoke a Robusto. If you have an hour and 10 minutes, smoke a Toro. And then if you really want to commit to something, you smoke a Cañones or an A or those big sizes. Which unfortunately, I'm a Lancero guy, but nobody smokes Lanceros anymore. Unfortunately, nobody buys them.
I love Lanceros too.
Yeah, it's just the flavor of the cigar with the Lancero. I mean, to me, unfortunately, in our industry, it just doesn't move. It's just like Cynthia will tell you. I mean, 15, 20 years ago, the number one selling size was Churchill. Now Churchill's like the number 4 selling size. Now it's Robusto, Toro, and 6x60. I mean, that's what people go to. So it's pretty crazy how it changes. And we've actually gone away from carrying a lot of the Churchill size just because it really doesn't sell. And why take up production on a size that doesn't sell when you could ramp up the production on the size that do sell. And we're able to.
Are you listening to me? Yeah.
We cannot hear Juan. Juan?
Yeah, I'm here. You can hear me?
Okay.
Okay.
we...
That's my question. We are waiting for you here in Juan in Argentina.
Yeah.
Well, you remember I was supposed to be there before COVID hit. I was literally in Brazil coming to see you and your husband, and they sent me home.
Definitely, yes. So yeah, we had to do with that. He said, no, don't come back now. But now you can.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We'll plan something up. We'll sit down and talk and plan a big Argentinian tour and.
Yes, the wine tour.
On the Gurkha
We
Cigars.
want to make a cigar.
That'd be great.
We want to make a cigar and wine tour for women.
Oh, that's awesome. Count us in. We're in.
Well,
Done.
Yeah.
Jessica,
we have to work
all
on
of
that.
us, we are going to come to Argentina to smoke cigars.
Yes,
to give
please.
you a hug.
And drink some wine.
Yes.
Yes, great wines.
When I met for the first time Keya, I was impressed. Keya is a writer. I don't know if he's a writer, but he has already written 2 books for women cigar, for smoking cigars, who smoke cigars. So, Keya, I'm very curious to hear from you.
Well, thank you, Anastasia, for having me. I am really honored to be here. And thank you also, Lefty. We've been in contact. And to all the ladies, hello. It is very nice to see all of your beautiful faces. And to Juan, my question is, I know that you mentioned that 30% of your reps are women. And that's great. I don't want to take away from that. That's awesome. But are there plans to be more inclusive and get that number going up higher? I think a lot of times when we think about, there has been some growth and there's been some leverage in terms of women. And I think we cheer that on, but I think there's so much more room for, and there's a lot of more space for women to be able to level up in this space. I think 30% is great. I think growing that number would be awesome.
Listen, I agree with you. I always tell people when I hire people, I hire talent. Okay, I don't see female, I don't see male. I hire talent. In saying so, being a father of 3, like I keep saying, it's not really an issue because you cannot when you hire people, you can be asking questions. But I think what holds back women a little bit on the representative or management side in the industry, life happens, right? You have kids, you got to take care of the kids. Some women don't have husbands. Some husbands are always traveling, like myself. And they have to, somebody's got to stay home and take care of the baby. So that in a way holds them back a little bit as far as, being able to hire more women because, women are the glue, men are the tile. The tile looks pretty, but without a good adhesive, the tile cracks, right? That's the same that I've always said about women. That's what I told my mom all the time. And so I think that's one of the hurdles that we have when it comes to hiring more females into the industry is I have and she went on maternity for a few months and she came back. She's like, Juani, I'm ready to go travel. I go, let's go, let's do it. So, we're in Seattle a few weeks back and she does a hell of a job. And she has a good balance because she has help at home with the husband, work from home. So it's a little bit of a tricky situation when it comes to especially like representatives because the representatives have a large territory. So they do 4 different states. That's hard to do as a woman, as a mother of 1, 2, 3 kids, whatever it may be. So that's always a little bit of an issue, but it's worked for us. I mean, we have 2 of the ones that we have here have kids, and luckily their husbands work from home, and they're able to travel and again share the love of the leaf, all over the country. So,
thank you very much.
Thank you, Juan.
Thank you. Our neighbors.
Okay, you come back
because we are Greeks here. And we have Sarah Donovita with us.
Hello.
Sarah.
Hi, Anastasia. Hi, Lefty. Hi, everybody. Hi, Juan. Hi, Silvia. And I'm very happy, I'm very proud to be with you here again for the fifth Global Roundtable. It's a very, very big honor for me. And most of you knows that I'm a member of the board of Terra di Bari, Cigar Ladies, the Habanos Club Italy, and I manage lots of slow smoking Facebook groups and various Instagram accounts. And I noticed that on social networks, there are now numerous pages of women who smoke cigars. And I refer to what was asked of you, Juan, earlier, but mine will be a somewhat simple but a more provocative question. Lots of tobacco companies use photos of women smoking cigar in a somewhat provocative way. Do you find the stereotype woman cigar sex demeaning? And how can you break this outdated but unfortunately very common and widespread stereotype?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said earlier, when we advertise, we focus, and a lot of the companies are starting to focus more on the actual cigar. You know, it's not about having a sexy woman smoking a cigar. It's showing the class. There's a classy industry. That's what we are. Cigar is a classy industry.
Yeah.
When you have big advertisers, you know, where 90% of the time are guys in New York, or that they don't have the pulse of the industry like we do, like, you know, like the companies like a Fuente, Karen, us, you know, Hiram Solomon, we don't need to use women for cigars. We use strictly the cigar. We let the cigar do the talking. A lot of these executives for the bigger companies use it a lot more often than we do, because that's what their marketing team is telling them to do. Because again, sex sells. I think it's not as bad as it used to be. It was bad like 7, 8, 9 years ago. It was everywhere. Women in bikinis, women doing their thing. And to me, again, being a father of 3 women is very degrading. There's no room for that in this industry. And I'm hoping that a lot of these manufacturers, you know, talk to the marketing departments and or marketing firms. I think it comes more from firms than it does a marketing department within the company. Those guys still believe that sex sells, and that's how they utilize the women. And some of these guys, that's what they do. And unfortunately, instead of focusing on the brand and the cigar itself, they want to sell it through a woman being in a bikini or a woman drinking a scotch. You know, very provocative. And I think it comes more from the bigger outfits that use marketing firms, not the smaller, medium-sized outfits that use. We stay away from it just because we focus on the leaf. You know, the cigars got to stand on its own merits. You know, we're known as, you know, one of the best packaging companies in the world. We do great packaging, as obviously, you know, Fuente. They focus on their packaging and the family history, and that's what it should be about. It shouldn't be about a woman, a man. It should be about the cigar.
Thank you.
Well, let's stay in Italy, but let's say through Germany, yes. We have Sarah De Luca with us. And Sarah, you're a new entry.
Yes, this is my first roundtable. Thank you for having me. Thank you for this community. Thank you, Anastasia and Lefty. And thank you, Juan, for being host and answering all our questions that are pretty crazy and ranging from in different thematics. So I would like to come back to the thematic of women, not in the marketing or in the retail sales and downstream, but on the upstream of the cycle of cigars, that is actually the managing process and decisional process. And one, my question for you is, have you noticed somehow or in your experience, even in your competitors, companies, or somewhere else, a gender gap, so a gender discrimination? And have you had an active role maybe in balancing this gender gap?
Great question. I mean, again, it goes back to it's still hundreds of years, thousands of years later, the industry is still a very men industry. And yes, that needs to change. I mean, you have a young lady like Liana Fuente. I use her as an example because I'm a huge fan. I think the company's in great hands with Cynthia and Liana, helping out that company. And it's hard for a woman to get to the management levels. In some of these industries, it takes them a long time, and a lot of the times they really want it sometimes, just because again you're concerned about being at home, raising kids. There's a lot of, I mean, listen, again, we don't have any women here in management, marketing, but as far as like VP or sales manager, it's strictly men. And I think that's for 99% of the industry. And I think listen, it's going to be a tough go, but there's definitely room to grow there. But there's a lot of obstacles and variables for them to get. It's going to take time, and I think this is a great to bring this. And I think once people start listening, that's why you got to continue to keep your head down, stay the course, and continue to push this movement of women in the cigar industry, because like I said, women are very organized. Women are way smarter than men. I know that for a fact. And they should be in more management positions. But to climb the ladder, especially, it's really, really hard because it's so male driven.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Juan, and thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
We have so many questions so far.
Anything to I don't know if Cynthia or Karen want to add to that.
Karen?
Do they hear me?
No.
Can you repeat the question, Juan?
No, I would like to get their. I would like to get their take on it. Cynthia being a pretty big company, Fuente. I would like to get her perspective because I know it's still a family-owned operation. But I think it's, from my experience, I see that women get locked into, as far as they usually go, is like like executive marketing person. Very few VPs. Very. And again, I would like to get their take on it. Them being women in the industry, Karen and Cynthia and Romy, if you want to chime in as well. I mean, I would like to get their perspective.
Yes. Like for me, I've been in the industry my entire life. So it's always was a very natural progression working alongside with my father and my brother. And there were women that were very supportive, but like you have mentioned, Juan, like working alongside, but not in the executive level, for an example. And there's been very important women in our industry, in our family business, for an example, like Karen Smith, who's an attorney. There was Ramona Sierra, an accountant, people that were very, very important and an important part of our business, and also a supportive. But like, for an example, Liana, she's a very good example. She's been working with, she's now like 42, believe it or not, it's hard to believe. But she has been working with us for over like 12 years. And she's a very, very important part of the executive level. And when it's a family-owned business, you just work side by side and you support one another. But I feel that there's many women, for an example, like Karen is a beautiful example, that she wanted to continue, and she does, the legacy of her husband. And she's got her family working side by side. I feel that the women are in this world, because no matter what, it's always been considered like a man's world or a gentleman's world, but the women have been very, very supportive, and they've always been there all along. But it seems like now, Ernest and Neto Carrillo, his daughter's been very involved, right? And so at the executive level, but it's been a lot of family-owned businesses that they've worked together. But we're seeing more and more, because women are very educated, and if they have the love of the leaf, for an example, like Patricia and the women that have cigar lounges, there's so many women now when we travel that have cigar lounges, that are owning cigar lounges. So I believe that like you say, Wong, if you love the leaf, or if, in any business, if you love it and you work very, very hard and you're true to yourself, it doesn't matter what business it is. I believe that they're welcoming these women, and they're intelligent, they're dedicated, and they're making very important decisions. So we're very, very proud of the next generation, and like that Liana is very involved, and she runs all the marketing development for our company, her and Caitlin, and so we're seeing more and more, and it's very inviting. It really is. But again, it's staying true to yourself and what you love. And so I see that, yeah.
Beautiful, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
May I also add that, well, we always blame also men for sexualizing the industry. I do also blame a lot of ladies who are literally intruders, trying to just, you know, like they call it the guy with the bag who wants to sell everything. So she wants to show herself, thinking that this is a platform with lots of male presence. Maybe they are Tinderizing, I call it. They're calling it Tinder of cigar world. We have it. It was growing, like Juan said. It started growing 7-8 years ago, and now I come from a city girl. I used to be a financial consultant. It's equally as competitive, the cigar world, as being in the financial world. Trust me, working as a financial consultant is tougher with other men. They are more competitive. They blame always women to be jealous of each other. That's not the case. Men love to see women not liking each other. That's another whole story that we talk about. Not every man is like that. My husband is such a supportive person. Juan is like that, with all the female presence in our life. But again, a lot of women, unfortunately, we have to also give that to them. They are sexualizing the whole business, turning it into a trade, literally a trade show. Now, it's for us to see it or ignore it completely. We cannot fight everything. This is how life it is. You go to places, you find all that. But again, it's getting slow. It's shrinking, that we say, even in events like trade shows, IPCPR, previously PCA. Now, we used to see a lot of those little parasites, literally taking so much of our time, not realizing how much time, money we invested to be in our booth. They're just there to do the, you know, the social service, I call it.
Right,
and now it's shrinking. I'm pretty sure you can see that.
So true. That's so true.
So let's also give the men some credit. Some of them, they fight. By the way, it happened that one lady, I'm not going to say what brand it was, we used to have some kind of approach from them to collaborate with their brand. And one of their one, let's say, social media person showed a very ugly image of that brand. We interrupted the negotiation. We said, no, we closed it completely. But then I went on this lady's page just to see. Most of the comments on that post were so aggressive. They hated it. There were like probably 10% of them telling her, wow, you know, sexy, whatever you can see. But most of the men, they were really upset for the image she gave. And a lot of people say, we're not going to even buy this brand anymore. We're not going to come close to this brand anymore. And I was really happy to see that. Not ladies were fighting her, men were fighting that.
So I have a question, like for the women that are showing themselves, for an example, like every post, they're showing all of their breasts or what have you. Mm-hmm. And so they have different cigar brands in their hand. How do you feel that we can come across to them and that is not attractive? I mean, it's beautiful for them to show, you know, their beautiful bodies and so forth. Like there's one influencer, her name is Liz, and she's absolutely beautiful, but she's elegant in every pose, and she has a beautiful body and everything, but she's graceful. But then there's like one that comes to mind, and even though I have tried to explain, like there's a way to be sexy but still to be classy.
Yes,
you know, because I believe that the men love women who are enjoying the leaf and enjoying cigars, because women are beautiful. Just like I love to see the gentlemen that are all dressed up, you know, and they have their beautiful watches and their beautiful suits and they're smoking their cigars. But how would you feel like that we can reach them to let them understand that it's so unattractive and that it's not good for our industry.
Yes.
And in that way.
Cynthia, may I say, like, I always ask men when they are supporting such kind of pornographic content, would you really be going with this lady as a friend, as a girlfriend, as a wife? Would you take her with you to a club or to a lounge or to any smoking event?
Right.
I doubt highly that any of them will ever even be seen with that kind of thing. But again, social media is like, it's behind things. A lot of accounts are fake accounts. They're just liking it, encouraging such kind of behavior from ladies that Sarah was mentioning. We want to fight them, but at some point, I always say there are some things in life you better not even talk about it. You just ignore it and it's going to shrink, it's going to disappear. It's like a star that was just there annoying you maybe. Yes, it's going to shrink, it's going to go away. We fight a lot. Again, our main thing is the love, the passion. This is a world of passion. You can't make anyone love the cigar or the smoke. My father used to smoke. I was addicted in terms of, I used to open the tube, take the piece of wood, roll it on my hand and go to school with that, literally addicted to it. And until now, I remember, and it was Romeo and Julieta, 1971, I'm born. So that's in the 70s, 76, 78. Right. So the passion is there. Most women, again, are pleasant smokers, loving it. There is a certain percentage, even in the men industry, some men, I was like, couldn't hold myself. I told one man, could you stop smoking like that? You're just annoying me, because he's smoking like there's no tomorrow. Like he wants to smoke 3 cigars in one word, burning, burning, burning. I said, just take a bath, do something else, smoke something else. Don't burn it. It's a noble thing. Enjoy it, respect it, touch it, look at it, you know? And again, like I said, we will not fight them anymore. These ladies who are doing it, same as the men who are sometimes putting, even one lady was doing it. She's cooking, she put the cigar in the fish, in the whole fish mouth, a raw fish. You know, in Italy, that's what they do. Like, hey.
You know, it's an interesting thing. So I look back so many years ago, and 12 years ago, when I was creating a website for the Women's International Cigar Club, I looked for imagery, stock images to put on my website. And there were no pictures of women, apart from women in bikinis on motorbikes.
Or the
cigars. Okay, so that was 12 years ago. We have made some progress. Let's not despair. But there is one very important thing that I share here, and I offer it to everyone, and that is that we have a responsibility to put out the images of the women we wish to encourage younger women and all other women to see. And if they don't have the role models to see, then they don't have anything to aspire to. So what is going on right now in the industry is a fabulous thing, and in the cigar world as a whole, because not just women, but men also see those images. And it's those changes that will make longer lasting change. So we need to keep putting good images out on social media. We need to keep calling out the images that are not maybe so appropriate for making this industry the, I'll use your words, everybody, classy industry that it is. We have to have those images, and it has to be a diverse image. It has to be totally inclusive.
This is such a great
discussion. I agree. That's very good.
Enjoying it. I agree with you, Romy and Sarah. I agree with you, Cynthia, that we all need to embrace the cigar world. It's a divine journey that we're all in right now. I want to ask my friend Des from the UK in the Cigar Company. I know that he's all about empowering women, and he has smoked a lot of cigars lately from women-owned companies. Des, what are your thoughts about women taking over the cigar industry and empowering themselves to provide us with that joy of cigar smoking with their own blends?
Well, firstly, I want to say a big thank you. It's an honor to be here and seeing some of the amazing women that are producing some fantastic cigars. Now, from my personal standpoint is, every time I reached out to any of the female cigar brand owners like Karen Berger, Romy, there's Anya Ramirez, and like I see Cynthia Fuente there, and they've produced some amazing cigars. they were so incredible. They literally were like saying, we're going to send you some cigars. We want you to try our cigars. And it's incredible. And the story I want to touch on is my personal cigar journey has been, I have my mother-in-law, she is 72 years old, and she is one of the people that I share once a month in here having a cigar. She's an incredible woman, and she's always been, oh, I don't feel comfortable. Will people take the mickey out of me? And I'm like, no, people won't take the mickey out of me, because I say I'll take a couple of pictures, and she's like, really? She's like, no, I don't want that. But she embraces it now. She loves coming for a cigar with me, and now she's starting to go onto the Robusto. She used to have like the little sort of Coronas. But for me, and Karen will agree, and Romy, I think their cigars are incredible. I've done reviews on their cigars, and just simply tasting and being a part of this and seeing how incredible some of these sisters are, the female cigar brand owners and distributors like Patricia, and it's just incredible. And I hope, and I know from doing this kind of thing, it's just going to get bigger and bigger. And I'm seeing a lot more female cigar owners, distributors. There's like 3 companies around by me in the Birmingham area, and all 3 of them are owned by female store owners, and it's great because I love seeing that growth in it and seeing such amazing people here. And it's for me, it's an honor. Pardon?
Are you a cigar fanatic?
I am, absolutely.
You know, we have another cigar fanatic joining us here today.
Go on.
We have another cigar fanatic, Kendall. She's sitting right there on the bottom left corner for me.
Kendall, and let me just say, Kendall has been fantastic. She does the USA Cigar Lounge, and I go on there occasionally, but it is a bit late for me. And Kendall has been absolutely fantastic. She's embraced me completely and says, come on in. And it's just been heartwarming. I mean, Romy, you have been incredible. I've spoke to Sylvia. She's been great. Cynthia, I'd love to get to know you a bit more. And what you said earlier about Joey, I know Joey quite well, Joe Bianco, and I know how excited he was to come down and see you. And I think it was just like a dream come true for Joey. So I think like, it's not just about the male bringing the females in. Now it's the females bringing the males to the market. It's just incredible. And I think there's a big turn now. And I think the more females are coming into the industry, and it's incredible. I applaud it, and I love seeing it. And long may it just keep growing and growing.
And you have one of the largest groups out there, and you have the Zoom Cigar Bar, which is rather successful. What are your thoughts on everything today?
And I think that Kendall has a question to do to Juan Lopez.
Well, I wanted to give a little bit of my background. Aside from my love of cigars, I'm also in the IT industry. I've been in the IT industry for over 20 years. I'm also a proud member of WIT, which is the Women in Technology, where we promote other women to break the stereotype that it's a male-driven industry, and to come forward with their hopes and their dreams, and to explore this particular industry that I currently have been in for over 20 years. And it's grown by leaps and bounds, and we have way more women in the IT industry than has ever been before. I really do. I love it. With Cigar Fanatics, we actually do, because the group is so large, we have a board. This is definitely something that would not be able to be done alone. And it is definitely a mixture of men and women. We promote everybody's thoughts and everybody's opinions. I've met some beautiful, amazing people along the way. And I know there is quite a few people on here that also are on their own adventures and journeys. And I was just wondering, when you have your quarterly business meetings, are women involved in those quarterly business meetings? Are you getting an aspect of a woman that's also sitting at your table, whether she's in your HR department, whether she's in your IT department, whether she's running your website? Are you also having women that are sitting down and giving advice and getting a voice and being heard, other than being in the field? You know, because I am a mom and I raise kids. Luckily now they're off and in college and doing their own thing. But I do think that it's very important that we also have board members and committee members and that everybody is equally represented. Because I would love to see the cigar industry grow by leaps and bounds the same way that women in technology has grown by leaps and bounds to break those stereotypes and barriers.
I mean, I know you hear me, right? Okay, so I know, like, for example, our marketing director happens to be my fiance. He's got engaged over the New Year's, and she's our marketing the executive here at the company, and she's listen, without a good marketing person, the engine doesn't keep going. You know, it's a marketing is very important. They have to have the pulse in the industry, and yes, absolutely, we don't do anything unless we sit down with our marketing director, myself, and Jim Colucci, the president, and we make those decisions. So whatever we're going to move forward, advertising, promotional items, promotions for the month or the quarter. So yes, very much involved. Again, being a small family-owned operation that we are, it's not a lot of you know, sitting around and doing the big meetings. But I'll say from experience, from my daughter, my middle daughter, graduated from American University. She's a forensic accountant, works for Ernst & Young, and she's 22 years old. And she goes, "Hey, Dad, I'm one of 8 people in my team, and I'm the only girl. I'm the only woman." So yeah, so I go, you know, I tell her, I go, and she goes, "I outwork everybody else because I can." And what I have coming in now is I've only been there for a year, and they're putting me already in the management side of training the new accounts that are coming in on their process. So I can't get into it because I told her, "Explain to me what forensic accounting means." She goes, "Dad, stick to wrapper, binder, filler. You would never get it." So I didn't get into the conversation, but I do see that even in her field, she told me, I'm the only woman out of 8 in my team that came in together from American University and to a big firm. And she says, you know what? The one thing that she has noticed is that the management pay a lot more attention to her and what she's got to say than a lot of the men, which is a good thing. And but she's that girl too. She's one of those that she stands up, and I tell my girls to, you know, always stay you and always be in the forefront. Don't be afraid to say what you need to say, but make sure before you say it, you think it over at least 3 times, because a lot of people say things and then they have to take it back. So she's, yeah, I mean, listen, the women in every industry, it truly is, and I'm excited about it because, you know, again, being a father of 3, I think that's an amazing thing, and I keep saying this, you know, women are way smarter than we are. They're definitely a lot more organized than we are, and women get shit done.
Like you said, you hire talent. You don't really look to see what kind of, you know, you hire talent, and you're very inclusive in all your decisions, and that's a great thing.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate you know, your mentality and your company's mentality. We have Stefania with us too.
Well, and not only Stefania, we have to return to Greece. We have a Greek person here too, Takis Karopoulos. He's a member of the management team, but he's not going to ask now anything to Juan.
He's in the worst office, and his connection is really bad, and the sound is awful.
So Takis, you are going to ask Juan a question
later on,
5 minutes after the end of round.
The bourbon and the scotch are on the 2nd floor.
Oh yeah, we need it today.
Stefania, are you drinking bourbon and scotch right now?
Stefania, you have to unmute yourself. Stefania is a Greek sister of the leaf. Where are you, Stefania? Unmute, please. Unmute. Please press the button.
Στεφανία, δεν σε ακούμε. Πρέπει να κάνεις unmute.
Δεν σε ακούμε, Στεφανία. Πρέπει να πατήσεις το κόκκινο μικρόφωνο. Πρέπει να πατήσεις το κόκκινο μικρόφωνο.
There you go. Now,
Μ' ακούτε τώρα?
Now we can hear you.
Do you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. It's my pleasure to be here. It's my first SOTL Global Roundtable. Anastasia, thank you very much because from you I am here. Thank you, Lefty. Hello, everybody. It's my pleasure, really. You must come in Greece to see, to drink, to smoke all together, to see the Greek hospitality. I have a store near Acropolis with souvenirs, and everybody, a lot of people smoke with me and talk about the cigars. It's very nice to see a lot of things, a lot of people like you, and to hear a lot of things for all these about women's and cigars. I have two sons, 28 and 30 years old. We smoke together. They are very happy because they smoke with their mom. And I think if we respect ourselves, everybody respect us. We are classy, we are nice, and nobody think something about us if we respect ourselves. I think so. Now, Mr. Juan, it's my first time meeting you.
Pleasure.
If you come in Greece, you will see the Greek hospitality. I have a lot of friends with hotels, and they told me they will...
They give me a discount.
Yeah, no discount. For free, they told me.
Discount, free.
That's true. That's true.
I'm getting on the flight next week.
All my friends.
It's unfair. We are all there, and we are going to come to Greece, all of us, not only Juan.
I think if we get everybody together and plan a trip out, you definitely count me in. I'll be there. That'll be great.
Well, let me say something. Before I say thank you to everybody, I would like to say that I go to Greece often because I am from Greece. But I think the next trip that I would like to take is at Juan Lopez's wedding.
Okay.
Because he now has, his girlfriend is now his fiance since the beginning of this year. And I'd like to know the date that he's getting married, because that's a trip I'd really, really like to take.
Oh. And very good idea. It's a wedding in Santorini or a Greek island.
I've been to Greece, and I love, who doesn't love Santorini? Mykonos. Oh, listen, I have some crazy stories about Mykonos. Believe me, I've been there a few times. I love Greece. I love the people there. And yeah, Santorini and Taormina in Sicily are two of my favorite spots in the world that I've traveled to, that I love going back. I've been there twice, and I would love for definitely get together. And yes, Lefty, you're invited to the wedding. It's February the 4th or 23. So you got 11 months to plan.
Of course. And you will taste the Greek food, souvlaki, moussaka, tzatziki,
listen,
wine.
Lefty, Stefania, so Lefty took me to this amazing place in Chicago area, and ask him. This guy just literally starts ordering everything from the menu. I'm like, dude, I'm already fat as it is. I can't be done. He's like, don't worry about it. Today you're Greek. You eat. I'm like, and we ate up a storm. It was amazing.
Juan, I have to tell you that I enjoyed having dinner with you and Goni that day, but I have to admit, because I'm sure everybody's getting hungry, I have to admit that being here with all of you today, all of you sisters of the leaf and brothers of the leaf, it's been a great honor for me. I love the discussion. It was very productive. I love meeting all of you. Hopefully soon, and Anastasia will talk about it when she takes the floor in a couple of seconds, hopefully soon we can meet face to face. But I want to thank all of you for your trust. And I want to thank you for allowing me to help you with this movement. And I really, really believe in the mission, and I believe in the vision. It was Anastasia's lifelong dream, and now it has become all of our dream. And it's going to manifest really soon, and we're going to empower women, and we're going to grow this movement, and it's going to become viral, and it's going to become something amazing that's going to take over the world. But Anastasia?
I would like to say that this dream is a tool. Our dream is a tool for our personal, internal, first of all, development, and then business, whatever, social development. And if our social activity is a part of ourselves, yes, this will be, SOTL Global Movement will be the tool. I would like to share this. My wish is to organize roundtables, global roundtables, as actual live events. So we are planning global roundtable in a country, and then after months in another country. So it will be our pleasure to it's a dream to hang each other, to smoke together, and to spread not the message of SOTL global movement, to spread our love. So from this, I would say, fifth roundtable have arisen things, issues that we have no time to discuss. These issues are very, very important, very serious for humanity. And I can say that we are going to arrange meetings, personal meetings, not in public, to discuss about these issues and how we can react on how can make the difference, can make a world better. So I think that you understand better, the ladies, that you have already discussed with me by chatting, messaging. Great issues have arisen. So I would like to thank you all for your trust. It's an honor. I would like to thank you once again for your precious time and your dedication about the mission. I'm very glad that soon we are going to meet in a specific place and to smoke together.
How interesting is that going to be, huh?
Yes.
Hopefully soon. And I hope I'm going to see the rest of you in DR next week. I don't know who's going to be there. We're going on Monday.
No.
Trying
We're
to
not
do
going to
theater.
be here. But, well, say hello in our language maybe, and say goodbye to the persons that they have, they watch us. So thank you once again, and bye-bye.
And I'd like to thank Juan Lopez.
Bye, guys. Take care. Thank you, Anastasia.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day, everyone.
Bye, Ronnie.
Thank
Take
you
care,
all.
Mikey. Have fun, everybody.
Thank you, Juan.
Take care, buddy. Take care. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
I love your
Thank you.
smile, I love your voice, and love the
Good stuff,
issues, the
everybody.
very serious issues that you put on the table. Love it, love it. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Thank you very much. It was
Bye.
wonderful. I
Thank you
enjoyed
to all
it.
of you. Bye-bye.
Congratulations again, Karen. Beautiful. And Wong, on your wedding. We'll all go to the wedding.
Cheers,
Thanks
everyone.
for everybody. Have a beautiful day.
Bye-bye, everyone.
It's been a pleasure, everybody.
Thank you for including me. It was
Bye.
wonderful.
Bye-bye.
I enjoyed it.
Bye. Bye.